Good day, guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ademola Badnos. If this is your first time, please do not forget to like and subscribe. So, in this video, I will be introducing Mailosaur, and so that we can continue to do the automation of the Mailosaur site and ultimately also get the um, email link out of it. So, that being said, I would like us to proceed right now. So the first thing that we want to do, like I've said in the previous video, we have not installed Mailosaur yet. If you check our package.json, we do not have Mailosaur installed. So we need to bring Mailosaur into the fold. So that will be done by just like installing it this way. npm I also stands for npm install. So you can just put npm I -d, and this one also stands for the save dev flag. So we can just type in Mailosaur and have it installed, and this will be included in our package.json. As you can see, it is already there. So in order to use it in our test, we have to let Playwright understand and recognize it by bringing it in this way, like this: constant Mailosaur, right, require Mailosaur. So with this way, the what's called is recognized. So now we do not have the test page launch again. We want to sign up and retrieve email retrieve email content. That is what we want to do right now. So let's get to it. So the first thing that I'll create is I'll create some variables globally. So in case you want to use these same things, like to do something else, you understand, you'll be able to have access to do that. Like the email address that we create, if it is made global, it means that if you want to do a forgot password feature right on this test, you'll be able to do the same thing. So I will create some variables here. I will create the API key variable, because we will need the API key obviously, and I will show you where you copy that again in case you did not watch the Cypress series. And before I get the API key in, well, I can leave it that way. Then one thing I would also want to do is just get a Mailosaur variable, right? A Mailosaur variable for the instance of the Mailosaur that we've created. We have to create an instance of it so we can use that instance in our script. So I'll say new Mailosaur will take the value of that API key. All these values will be filled in due time. Then I will create that of the server ID as well. I'll create variable for the server ID, and I will also create a variable for the server domain, or the email domain. So let's just call it this. It's fine. So we have this. Then I'll create a variable for the email address itself, so you can use the email address. So why do I want to reuse the email address? Well, like I explained, you could have a use case where you want to create another test block to test the email itself. So now, one thing I would want to start doing is once I get here, let me get those values first so I don't forget them. So in our email, we can come into here. This is the server ID, and this is the email. The server domain. So I can come here, server domain. Let me just put that. We do not need this at all. This is all we need because we'll create our own. And the server ID, thought I copied that. Okay. My clipboard isn't opened anymore, so I need to open it. Okay. Okay, so it isn't there. Let me copy that again. And let me use the opportunity to also copy the server API key. In the previous video, we've created a server API key as opposed to creating an API client key. And we explained that the server API key only gives access to the server where you are in, as opposed to the API client key that gives access to all the servers in your account. Because API, the account level key, has access to all the servers in your account. So we have copied all this. So the server API key will be here, and the server ID will be here. Okay. So now that we have all of the principal players, the next thing we want to do is, like I explained in the last video on Cypress, I said we can have a use case where all your emails need to be unique, right? So you can decide to start to create your own unique identifier. So you can have a random string that you create yourself. And this random string, the easiest way I usually do is I use the date format to just generate this string. So that I can be sure that it will always be unique, because what that means is that at each point in time, when I am running it, it's a different time. So if I run it 2 seconds ago, it will be different. The string interpretation will be different from the one I run 5 minutes after. So with that being said, we can use that. So our final email address can now be a combination. We would have some string manipulations here, right? So it will be a combination of the random string, yes, and the server domain, right? So that will be the email address that we've generated for this. So we can now go ahead and start writing our script. So we can say fill the sign up form. We can say fill in the sign up form, right? So in order to do that, we'll just start this by saying await page dot we have to first click the sign up page. So we first dot click, and what are we clicking? We are clicking the sign up link. So we'll call selectors that we've created in the page objects, right? So we'll call selectors and we pick the sign up link. Selectors dot sign up link, right? You see how easy it is to use the Playwright syntax. So the next one is we begin to fill the pages there. So we can say page fill. So what we want to fill, the first name and we want to fill the last name and the email address. So we just call in the selector, first name field, and the content of the first name field, let's say, is John. Let me copy and paste this 2 times. So the surname will be Doe, but it will be filled into the surname field, which is the last name field. And for the email address, it will be filled into the email field, and the value of that will be email address. And lastly, we click the button, so I can copy this and paste, and we'll click that button. Simple. So So what's the is the submit button. So we change sign up link to submit button, and that way we've been able to complete sign up. So let's run this and see if we are right. So npx playwright. So let's run this. Let's wait for it. This is it. So we sign up and we play this, and there you go. It's so fast, it has done it, and we have it. It has been able to do that. So in the next video, so that I don't make this too long, in the next video we will now conclude this test and retrieve that same email. Okay, and you see how Playwright does this. So if you've gotten this far and you like this video, please drop comments and also press the like button. That way I'm more encouraged to do more. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.